Hi, this is Liz from LizziesCraftItems.com. I was recently hired to decorate a wedding in August. As part of the ceremony, they wanted wicker vases, so I decided to keep it simple and use recycled cardboard and newspaper to create the appropriate effect. In this video, I will show you how I did this. Now, first of all, you're going to need four sides to the vase: 17 inches, 8 inches at the top, 5 inches at the bottom, tapered. And then you're going to need four little brackets, 6 inches by 1.5 inches. These are to hold the platform on, and you'll see in the video. Using hot glue to attach them along 2 inches down from the top of the 8-inch side. Roughly in the middle. Doesn't have to be exactly perfect. And then you have four equal pieces with the brackets connected. Now gluing the sides together. Gently run a bead of glue down one edge, putting on top the second edge. Flipping it over so you can roughly get a tight corner. And hold it for a few seconds to let the glue set. Once it's set, give the inside of it 2 pieces, a bead of glue. Now, connecting the 2 pieces together, just follow the same procedure. Run a bead of glue down one side, down the second piece on top, making sure you get a tight corner, and let it square. Once that's done, time to put the top and bottom on. Run a bead of glue all the way along the base. You can be really liberal here. Roughly line it up. And the base size is 5 inches by 5 inches. And you'll need 2 of them. The second one I'll show you later on in the video. Now on top of your brackets, glue the top. And then you can place your top base inside. Pressing firmly down to make sure that it's connecting with all the brackets. Now rolling the tubes. This can be done ahead of time. This doesn't have to be done right at the exact time you're doing the project. Basically, just take a dowel, chopstick, whatever you have, and roll, gluing one end and then gluing the other. For this project, you'll need roughly about 180 pieces of tubes. And that's just basically how you roll. It's very simple. Now before you start gluing any of the tubes on, you need to line all the edges so that the cardboard doesn't show. Take strips of plain paper, fold them in half, and then glue them on both ends, the 8-inch and the 5-inch. Starting with the outside, I just spread the glue on with a paintbrush. and lay the paper on top. Really simple. And do that on all 4 sides. And then follow the same procedure on the bottom. Now marking the location of where the vertical tubes will go. Roughly mark every 2.5 inches starting from one corner. 2.5 centimeters. Now with your Elmer's glue, just lay a good bead down and place the tube on top. There's roughly 7 to each side. But you'll also need 1 for each corner. Once you have all the tubes in place, take a second scrap piece of paper and line it on top, locking the pieces in place and pressing down firmly to make it smooth. Now you can finally start weaving. Once you have all the tubes in place, it will look like this. So you start with 1 tube, pressing it down flat. I like to start with a small end. Taking that glue stick, just rub glue on it, making sure it has water glue there. And then fold it in half and add glue to the back side of that piece. This will make the 2 pieces stick together, just peel them apart. Starting with the second tube in, at the very bottom, fold it over. So you're making kind of an L under that tube. Making sure not to glue the tube next to it. Press it down firmly, and then lift the other tube up. So you're on top of the first, under the bottom. Under the second one, sorry. And just keep going all the way around. So on and so forth. 1 on top and 1 under. At some point you may run out of tube. It's just simple to add another piece of tube to the end of the one you're working with, and continue on. Now when you come to the end, just add liberal glue onto the piece that you're at the end and on the back. Snip off the remainder. And then tuck that underneath the first part. You'll be doing this all the way up. So every row is basically the same until you're at the very top. When you're at the top, you can either cut them down so they're short or leave them as they are. I prefer to leave them. Spread glue on there and just push them down. I do every second one to start with. That locks the bottom row of tube in place, so it doesn't slide up and down. Making the bottom cover. Basically, this is the second 5x5 piece of cardboard that you needed. And just a simple piece of white paper. Cut it out, leaving clearance on each side so that you can fold it over. Just to make a finished product. Similar to wrapping it. which doesn't have to be perfect because this side you won't see. Add a large amount of glue to the base of the unit and place the base the cover, on top, pressing it down firmly and holding it for a few minutes or a few seconds, just so that it grabs. Hot glue doesn't take long to set. Now, my client wanted a white wicker vase, so I painted it white. You can paint this in any color that you choose. You just spread the paint on liberally, spreading it around. I prefer a sponge brush, rather than the regular bristle brush, because it gets into the corners more accurately, and you waste less paint. And this is what the finished product looks like. Thank you for watching, and I hope you enjoyed. Please come and visit me at LizziesCraftItems.com for more.